Our next performance is with Sky Garden Gallery, which is in the Powerhouse Arts District. So we're excited to welcome Theda Sandiford. Take it away, Theda.
Hi guys. Well, we got sort of two things going on. We have PowerPoint, we're gonna have a little video, and then we're gonna have a demonstration of some work. So can we start with the video? So if we were in a normal JC Fridays, that's exactly what you'd be doing right now. You'd be in here and you'd be actually making work with me, enjoying good food, and building community with other local artists and people who are just interested in what's going on. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the works and just show you some close-ups. So McCarty, can you show Twilight off the bow? So that's the next slide. Okay, you're gonna walk through the space. Once you head straight to Twilight though. So now you're getting an actual tour of the space. We figured just do this really virtually. Keep going to the main wall. The really bright purpley one, just to the left, show a little close up. So this was a work that I made during a JC Fridays last year. We had around 20 people come and pick up different yarns and work onto the cotton ropes. And literally this work was done. In fact, some of the people in the chat actually did participate in making the work. This is one of the best parts about doing this kind of work with people because they bring their own ideas to the work and having their hand actually touching the ropes and imprinting their own personal code and stories. It generally starts with the conversation. So Cardi, can you show me the one on the main structure just behind you? There we go. That's another one. This one was done during last year during JCast. So there's two ropes. Actually, one of the ropes was done at Art House at a show last summer, and then the second rope was done during JCast. So I just wanted to show you guys the close-ups of that. And then Cardi, if you could also go and show the works in progress, the 4 green pieces along the main wall. Turning around. Yes, okay. So these were the last pieces or rather 1 or 2 of these were the last pieces I had done before COVID hit. I did one at this one here on the end during 14C. And again, I invite people to come in, cut up the rope, and Brian, the cat is showing up for the video, which is awesome. He wants to be in the mix. So each of these 4 pieces are figures. They're not hung fully the way I'd like to have them, but for now, this is how it's going to be. They're going to be ceiling hung. And you'll notice that there's a trail that touches each one that is a hand that is on the shoulder of the figure that's in front of them. So if we can go back to the PowerPoint, I will teach you guys how to do this because that's what we would normally be doing. So we can blow through Twilight and go to slide 6 where we talk about the art supplies that you would need. I am very much all for what you have around the house. So everybody probably has cotton rope. If not, you might have string. You might have some jute, that's a natural string, paracord. You might have some sort of tubing. You probably have t-shirts. You can cut up t-shirts and turn that into yarn, and then you can tie those together. You can also use ribbon. I sometimes cut up plastic bags, beads, jewelry, buttons, needle, thread, fabric glue, and scissors. If you have those things, and most of you probably do, you can do this work in your house. So let's go to the next slide and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so the basic knot is called the lark's head knot. I will show you in person. You can basically see, you take your rope and you lay it on top of your substrate. In this case, I'd already started a piece, but onto a piece of cotton. You can do it onto chopsticks. You can do it onto a piece of wood, pretty much anything. And you just lay your loop over, like I'm doing here, and pull the tails through the loop, just like the illustration shows you how to do. And then you pull tight. And you can repeat this over and over. This is a basic macrame type stitch, finger knotting, finger knitting. It's super easy to do and incredibly meditative. I don't even have to look at it. I'm like sitting here just tying the knots. If you tie the knots all in the same direction, you get a spiral. And if you see here, it looks literally like a spiral. You'll see that the knots run around the rope in a spiral-like fashion. If you tie the knots left and right, you'll get a straight line along the rope. So let's see where we got one of those. And this, you can also make some spaces. So if we go to the next slide, it's called the freestyle slide. So there's a lot of different variations to the lark's head knot. If you add 2 or more yarns, it will give you a different look. Here's an example of where there's 2 or more yarns. And in this instance, this is 2 or more yarns that have been gone over 3 times. So this particular series that I'm working on is about the politics of hair. That's why I've used this choice of camo. I basically started working on this hair stuff as a result of random people just coming up to me and touching my hair. I take the pat train in and someone would just like put their hands in my hair, and okay guys, that's not okay. And I wanted to have a way to sort of make something that was incredibly beautiful, that you wanted to touch, that you could touch in the making of it, very much in the tradition of when you go to the salon and have your hair done, somebody else is working on your hair. You're working on your hair, other people are working on your hair. But once it's done, it's not okay to be touching it. And so when you make something like this, make it beautiful so it's enticing. I got another one that's in progress that has all these beading onto it. So of course, this is delectable. This is like ice cream. You want to eat it, you want to touch it, you want to get up close to it, but hanging in a white box scenario, you can't. And it's a way in which to have a conversation about giving people their personal space. And, you know, it's nice. I get it, it did take some time to make this hair look cute like this, but it really isn't all right for people just to be touching me. And I think it's very interesting now that I made this prior, for the past few years prior to COVID. I'm wondering if people are still going to feel that desire to touch. So it'll be interesting to see how the works change as a result of what is now considered acceptable or not. And I think more and more people, I hope more and more people won't be feeling the need to thinking that that's, okay. In a way, it's a personal violation of your space. There's one other thing that I do kind of want to mention in section 9, the next slide. When you're working on this, you get to the end and you're tying, and people often say, "How do I finish?" I see a couple of people in here that have actually said that. So I tend to separate the tails of the knots of what I'm tying off. Where's one? Oh, did I do it already? Oh, no. I can separate the tails. This is what I mean by tails, and do the lark's head knots individually. And now they're on a different track. When you're pulling both pieces of yarn through together and you try to tie a knot, it's going to unravel. But when you do them separately, separate each of the tails and do a lark's head knot, and then tie them together, it stays locked to the rope. So if you use natural ropes and yarns, it actually sticks to itself. If you can do this with plastic bags, you can really do this with anything. It's a very meditative process. I sit here and do this for hours on end without even thinking. I might be in a Zoom call for my 9 to 5, and I'm sitting here with my hands down low and I'm tying these knots. And oftentimes I find that if I'm frustrated or angry, or they're just repeating conversations in my head, and don't act like you don't have those, because we all do, that I can put those right into these ropes. And when I go back and look at the rope, I can see that conversation, and now it's over here instead of inside of here. So that is a beauty part of doing this rope. I miss doing this work with people, and so I want to thank Art House for allowing me to come on here to even have a simulated version of doing this work with people. And I look forward to inviting you guys back into the space soon, and being able to do this work with people again. So thank you.